If you're like me and don't have a lot of space for fall decor, then tiered trays are the answer. In this video, I'm going to show you 10 quick, easy, and inexpensive items that you can put on a tiered tray. This first one is a mini chair that I picked up from Dollar General in the little garden section. Isn't it cute? This one is so quick, if you blink, you're going to miss it. I'm going to go in with some antique white acrylic paint and give the whole piece one good coat. Now, this time of year, Dollar General has got a huge sale going on. They're getting rid of all their summer stuff, and my Dollar General's got it all half off, so you can actually grab this piece for 50 cents. I gave it a light distressing and added a cute little paper sunflower. Next, I'm making a little mini planner from a piece I got at Hobby Lobby for 74 cents. And I cut off the tag, and I also cut out one of the fall rub-on transfers. And as you see, I cut it a little bit too big. So I'm just cutting out the word fall and positioning it on the little planner. And then I will rub it down using a craft stick. Now, all these little mini DIYs today are so easy, very inexpensive, and you'll have to wait to the end of the video for the final reveal to see how they all turned out and how I placed them on my tier tray. I cut off some little wheat stems and put them in my planner, which I had filled up with a little bit of floral foam, and that was it for that one. Craft number 3 is a bucket of mini apples. I used one of the galvanized little mini buckets from the Dollar Tree, gave it 2 coats of truffle chalk paint, and am using my heat gun to dry it. Now, if you're interested, you can find the link to that tool in my Amazon favorites linked in the description box. I wanted to do something a little different, so I decided to hot glue some twine all the way around the center of the bucket and on the handle. Welcome, everybody. I am so glad you're here. My name is Robin, and if you haven't checked out my channel before, you like what you see, I would love it if you would click that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up, because that really helps me on YouTube. So as you see, I'm burning off the little fuzzies. I can't stand fuzzies. I filled my bucket up with some scrap pieces of floral foam and am using hot glue to put in some Spanish moss. Next, I cut off some pieces of skewer stick and for whatever reason decided it would be a good idea to attach them to some painter's tape and paint them that way. It would have been a whole lot easier just to stick the little pieces down into the berries that I'm using as apples and paint them that way. You could paint some wooden beads to use as your apples. I chose to use these berries from Christmas time, attach the stem in the middle, and then hot glue them down to the Spanish moss. To me, they kind of ended up looking like pumpkins. I don't know why. I'm making a little sign from a little mini chalkboard, and I'm just writing out apples 5 cents. And this one is finished. Today I'm participating in an open collaboration called Shades of Fall, which is hosted by Barbara from Country Lily DIY Decor and Ray from One Way Designs 238. The links to their channels and a great playlist will be in the description box below. Y'all go check it out. My next DIY, I'm using these tower blocks that I got from Goodwill. Now, they are bigger than the ones you get at Dollar General and definitely bigger than the ones from Dollar Tree. This originally started out to be a book stack, but as you'll see here in a little bit, I changed my mind and decided to make it into a mini wood pumpkin. So I'm making 3 sets of 2 blocks using my Weld Bond glue, and I'm applying a thin layer to each side of the pieces that I want to stick together. I love the Well Bond. It works on wood, glass, ceramic. You guys should definitely check it out. I'm also using my carpenter square to make sure I get my blocks level. See, I misspelled pumpkins, so that's why I decided against a book stack and am just giving it 2 good coats of the Waverly chalk paint in pumpkin and turning it into a wood pumpkin. For the stem, I cut off a piece of stick from the yard and found 2 leaves from my stash to also glue on top. I'm distressing using Waverly Antique Wax. I'm even putting it on the leaves, on the edges of the pumpkin, in the grooves where the blocks meet. I just want this to look really dirty because, pumpkins, they don't come clean out of the patch. This turns out really cute and I love it. For the next 2 crafts, I'm going to be using wood slices that I got from Arteza. And the first one, I'm going to apply a rub-on transfer that says, "Happy Fall, y'all." I had a devil of a time. Maybe I should have painted the inside first, but it took a hot minute to get it adhered down to the center. For the second one, I'm also using another rub-on transfer, this beautiful leaf, and I did glue a tumbling tire block to the back of each one to make them stand up on their own. I told y'all these were going to be quick and easy, so for number 7, I'm making a mini pumpkin stack. Now, those colored beads I had in my stash, I've been wanting to use them, so I have a large bead, a medium-sized one, and a small one. The colored beads had a coating on them, so I am using my finger sander just to get that off where the paint will adhere. So for the small bead, I'm using my antique white. The medium-sized bead, I'm using this pretty navy color. I think it's called Admiral Blue. And then for the bigger one, I mixed some pumpkin chalk paint with some nutmeg brown and gave it one good coat. Now I'm going to start gluing them together, just using my mini glue gun with some wood hot glue, as you see here. Now, I've already made a stand using 3 tumbling tire blocks that I'm going to set them on, and I just got a little twig from my yard to use as the stem in the top one. I'm also using more Spanish moss to put in between my little pumpkins and giving it a good haircut as any good groomer would do. Sorry about my phone ringing in the background, guys. That was my husband. Anyway, I lightly distressing each of the pumpkins using some of that nutmeg brown paint just on a little baby wipe going over each one. And now I'm attaching them to the little stand that I made, and I'll be using more Spanish moss around the bottom to make it look like it's kind of, sitting in the field. So cute. I hope you guys are enjoying these minis. If you do, please give me a thumbs up on this video because that really helps YouTube recognize my channel. No tier tray would be complete without a garland. So I counted out my beads. I'm using this twine that I got from the Shore Living collection. It's a blue and tan mixture. I'm also using one of these laser cutouts from Dollar Tree. I thought that leaf would look really cute on one end of it, but as you'll see here in a bit, it was an epic fail. So I got a little pattern going. I'm using the orange bead, 2 natural small beads, a blue one, 2 natural smalls, and then an orange one as you see me doing here. So when it came time to attach that laser cut leaf, I just wrapped some of the twine around the stem of that leaf and hot glued it, thinking that would work. So now I wrapped some of that twine around my fingers about 20 some odd times, and I'm just tying it off, making your typical tassel. The beads I'm using for this tassel I got from Amazon in a really big package, and that is also linked in my description box under my Amazon favorites. And I did y'all a favor. I spared you the torture of watching me paint all these beads. You're welcome. So as you just saw, that little leaf completely fell off, but I found these cute farmhouse wood rounds at Dollar Tree, and I always have a plan B, guys. So I'm taking a screwdriver, poking a hole through the top, and just tied it onto my garland. I think it turned out so pretty. I attached a little tiny bow at the top. I really like it. What do y'all think? Next, I'm using 6 tumbling tower blocks to make this cute little serving tray. So I'm again using my well bond glue to attach them together along with a dab of my wood hot glue that is by Sure Bonder, and it's good stuff. Actually, I prefer just using the well bond glue when working with these tire blocks, because if you use hot glue, when hot glue starts to cool off, it expands, and that's why you get that gap in there. So I think from now on, I'm just going to stick with either a super glue or my weld bond. Now for the sides, I'm just using one block, and again, going to glue it on using my weld bond. And this turns out absolutely adorable. My husband said I should have put some little feet on the bottom and made a little mini coffee table out of it. Maybe I'll do that in the future. I don't know. But I give the whole thing one good distress coat of the antique white acrylic paint by Apple Barrel. That's all it took. And I didn't want full coverage. I wanted it to look rustic and farmhouse because y'all know that's my vibe. So I painted all the sides, the middle, the whole 9 yards. This is a rub-on transfer pack that is just full of farmhouse style designs. I picked out one that was a tiny little rolling pin, and it says thankful in the middle. So I'm centering it the best I can, and then we'll just rub it on using something. I think it's a craft. Is it a craft stick I'm using? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I can't remember. It's been a minute. For the handles of my little tray, I'm using some covered wire that I actually got at Hobby Lobby last year on clearance. I think it was in the fall section. And I just bended it into the shape of what I thought should be little handles and attach it down using some hot glue. And this one is so cute. I just love this piece. I'm going in with a really, really dry brush using some black chalk paint, just distressing all the edges and all around until I like the way it looks. And I just want to take a minute to say I am so thankful to be back on YouTube. And thank you all so much for welcoming me back, for watching my videos, subscribing. That really helps me out. But I'm so appreciative of everybody for showing me all the support and the love and the comments. I love chatting with you guys in the comments. So be sure to just drop a comment down below. If nothing else, just to say hello. If you guys are still here, drop me a sunflower emoji down in the comments because y'all are hanging in there with me and I really appreciate it. For this mini wreath, I'm using a little wood ornament and cutting off the top because I need a small circle to fit inside that little bird nest there that I'm going to turn into a wreath. So I cut off the top. I'm just giving it a quick sand to make it all even and smooth. I give it 2 coats of the pumpkin chalk paint and am drying it using my heat tool. I cut out another rub-on transfer. This one says Hello Autumn. And in hindsight, I wished I'd have done something a little different because it's kind of hard to see against that paint. But it's still a cute little piece. And I'm just using my Cricut tool to rub that down. And then I'm attaching some little leaves from that same transfer sheet. And I wish I hadn't done that because they are very hard to see. Yeah, I didn't really care for the way that came out, but it is what it is, you know? It's crafting. It'll be just fine. I'm taking a really dry brush with some antique wax and going around the edges of my little circle there. And then I'll also distress the center because you know I've got to distress stuff. It's I can't help it. What about y'all? Do y'all like distressing? I've asked this before. Do you distress everything or you just use it occasionally? I think I've got to distress everything, but that's just me. So it's time to glue this wood round into the center of this bird's nest that I'm turning into a wreath. And I had this little scrap piece of pipberry garland, and I'm just using some hot glue going around that little wreath there and making sure that it's sticking down. This turns out adorable. I really like this. I like them all. You'll have to let me know which one is your favorite in the comments because coming up, we're going to do a final reveal and I want to know what you guys think. Now, these little bows I got from Hobby Lobby in the scrapbook section. They do have a little self-adhesive dot on the back, but just to be sure, I like to put a dab of hot glue to make sure that it's going to stay on there. And I just place it in the center of my little wreath. I made a stand for my wreath using 3 of the larger blocks. I believe I got these from Dollar General. And as you see, I used the antique white. I put a little tiny screw at the top, and that's how my little wreath is going to hang. I think it's adorable. What do you guys think? Here it is, my tiered tray with all the little minis that we made today. You guys, oh, I love that little chair. It is absolutely adorable. There's the wood round, the garland. What do you think, guys? Are you going to try to recreate any of these? Which ones are your favorites? Let me know. There's that cute little serving tray. I absolutely love it. I want to thank everybody for joining me in this video today. I had fun creating these little pieces, and I hope you've enjoyed watching me make them. And don't forget to check out the playlist in the description box below for the shades of fall. And be sure to go by our host channels, Country Lily DIY Decor and One Way Designs 238, and tell them that you came from Robin's channel. So, with that being said, y'all know what I'm going to say next. Go get your craft on, y'all. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.